right, looks like we are live. I can get everything situated here. Okay, so this is the Friday live stream. I've kind of been alternating, sometimes Friday, sometimes Saturday. And so I would love to lock it in consistently, but I'm kind of looking for the best time that the most of you are available to dive in. So we will see how it goes today. All right, well, I am going to be doing a giveaway today. I've got several giveaways running right now. One of them I put out in a video yesterday. So if you haven't watched that, go watch it. I'm giving away this fragrance right here from day 3. And so check that out if you haven't yet. I also have a pile of new fragrance pickups. Most of them are new releases. One of them has been out for a while, but I just got it in and it is amazing. So as you join the live stream, do me a favor, go ahead and like the video. That'll help it get in front of more people. Comment, and we'll see what kind of interaction we can have. Q&A, I'll read your comments, that kind of stuff. So I think what we'll do is go ahead and dive into some of these new pickups. One of them is weird, but I'm actually pretty excited about it. I've had my eye on several of these fragrances for a little while. You might have seen that Arabiyat Prestige has done a whole series of gourmand fragrances. This one is Macaron, and so this one looked really interesting. It literally has like a stack of macarons on the top of it. So that one we're going to open together live. I think since there's not a lot of people on yet, I'll go ahead and talk about one that most people know, but it's new to me. So I have a pile of, clones and inspos of Angel Share. I've got way too many of them, but this is the one that everybody says is the absolute best. So I actually just opened it. I opened it last night and I've worn it today. And so it's a pretty new fragrance to me. This is Celerio Epic by DUMONT. And I got to tell you, man, the hype is real on this one. Pretty good presentation, which is usually the case with DUMONT, especially like their higher end fragrances like this. This one is, I think, an Extrait de Parfum. No, it's an EDP, but it performs like an Extrait de Parfum. I'm not a huge fan of the bottle. It's kind of ugly, I guess. I've definitely seen worse, but what does it smell like? So again, this is, if you just do a quick, Google sprint looking for best clones of Angel Share, you're going to see this one come up over and over again. And I think this one is, so far in the 24 hours I've had it, it is the best performing, most accurate alternative to Angel Share that I've tried. It's actually not my favorite though. My favorite still reigns supreme. It is untouched in the #1 spot, and that is Barouge Sillage. This one is my favorite because it has this amazing plum note in the top. This one's actually also DUMONT. But because of that prominent plum, it's actually not as close to Angel Share as this one is. This one's just straight down the line Angel Share, but it is nuclear strong. They're probably both EDP. I couldn't even say necessarily one of them, which one is stronger than the other, but I do like this one more, I think. But I'll tell you, as soon as I sprayed this on, everybody in the house was telling me how amazing I smell. Which those kind of comments from my wife are, they're not daily. So I appreciate them whenever they come. So I would say this, if you're looking for a good alternative to Angel Share, you just want, I think this one you'll pay a little extra for, I don't know, depending on where you buy it, it's probably in the realm of like 40 to 50. But it is very, very good. It's not just me saying that. Check out a review of it. Pretty much everybody is blown away when they try it. So again, Celerio Epic. This one's not new, but it is new to me. And I still think that Celerio, the other Celerio, the one in the black bottle, Oros, is probably still the best straight Creta Ventus dupe that I have. I think that that's accurate. As far as just accuracy and strength, I think this one's probably the best. So these are like incredible, both of them. Let me know in the chat if you have them. I got a bunch of other new stuff. Like I said, that one's not new. I covered it first since not a lot of people were on. But now that you're joining, let me see what you guys have to say here, and then we'll hit some of these new fragrances. So Jessica Lee's saying, what is the best you have? I mean, that's obviously very subjective, but without question, some of the Spice Bomb are my favorite. I love Night Vision EDP. I love Spice Bomb Extreme. I love Spice Bomb Dark Leather. I have all of them, and I really like pretty much all of them for different reasons. A lot of this is my niche shelf up here. And a lot of these I absolutely love. You know, when you buy a niche fragrance, you're going to pay more. And I love all of them. That's why I bought, the real thing in addition to clones. Most of them I have clones for as well. Sometimes, buying the niche real thing is definitely worth it. So, it's hard to say which one is my favorite. This is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. Philip Plein No Limits. If you like leather, this is like leather and chocolate and spice. It is phenomenal. Most of my family does not like the way this one smells, but I absolutely love it. It's a gourmand, spicy leather fragrance. I could point out some other favorites as well, but, one of my favorite tobacco fragrances, Nishane Fan Your Flames, absolutely amazing if you like spicy tobacco. So yeah, I could go on, but this was the best release of last year, I think. Boss Bottle Absolute, really good stuff. And the new Latafa Assad is, it's not a straight dupe of that one, but it's pretty close. It's in the other room. I don't have it in here with me, but the new Latafa Assad is kind of close to Boss Bottle Absolute for about a quarter of the cost. So, all right, what else we got? Samrat is saying, have you tried Oud al Layl from Arabiyat? I have not. What is that one a dupe of? Jessica's saying hello. Samrat saying you should smell Oud al Layl. Let's see here. What else we got? Underbuilder saying, what's your favorite Acqua di Gio? I would say my favorite Acqua di Gio was Profondo. I know they stopped making that one, but there's another one that is similar. I can't remember which one it is. I have a sample of it, but it's one of the releases from, I think, 2023. But it's similar to Profondo, but that one's my favorite. A little sweeter, aromatic, blue fragrance take on Acqua di Gio. Really like that stuff. We've got Come On Scent saying hit the like button, people. So thank you very much. And go over and give Come On Scent a subscribe as well. And yeah, hit that like button. Rasta Pasta is saying Acqua di Gio is an amazing cologne. It is. I still know guys that their signature scent is Acqua di Gio. Maybe they now maybe they've upgraded to like the Parfum or something like that, but you can't beat it. Aquatic, fresh, clean. Women love it. Like women, not to wear obviously, but they tend to love it on men, fresh stuff like that. Come On Sense is saying, what is your favorite Azzaro? My favorite Azzaro is still got to be Wanted by Night. It is a tragedy that they discontinued this thing. It is so good. Tobacco and honey and cinnamon. There's also really interesting citrus in the opening of this one. It's so good. And Fragbar actually does a dupe that's pretty good. And it may also be in the other room because I've been wearing it the last few days. But I actually have good discount codes for Fragbar in the description, and their clones are phenomenal, and their clone of Wanted by Night is actually really good. Let's see. Abdul says, do you own Dior Fahrenheit EDT? I don't have the EDT. I've got a bunch of things that smell like it. I've got Mercedes-Benz Intense, a little more mass-pleasing take on it. I've got the Parfum, which is my favorite of the Fahrenheit fragrances. But I don't have the EDT. I actually like this a little better than the EDT. A little more wearable for every day. But the EDT is legendary. Good stuff. Gary Howden, Dior Homme, the OG is the best ever. Yeah, it's fantastic. I think I like Dior Homme Intense a little better. But yeah, the OG is amazing. It's a bummer that they replaced it now with the more kind of mass pleasing everyday wear. You know, the I definitely prefer the original Dior Homme original. Let's see. Texas 5 is saying just ordered Valentino Uomo EDT and Rificot and Australia Elixir. Sweet. Yeah. Valentino Uomo EDT is excellent. I like the older formulation a little better than the newer one. The newer one is a little more aromatic. It's almost like got a little bit of an herbal feel and less of that kind of chocolatey Nutella vibe, but it's still a great fragrance. So no doubt about that. And of course, I like Dior Homme Intense, or sorry, Valentino Uomo Intense the best. Here's the newer formulation of Valentino Uomo. Still good, but I like the older one. Generic Perfumes makes a really good dupe of the old formulation of Valentino Uomo, which is really good. I've got a discount code for this below as well. All right, let's open up some of these. Let's hit some of these new ones. So this is the one I was talking about. So Arabiyat Prestige has a whole line now of gourmand fragrances. They all look like desserts. Joma Shop has them. I'm sure a bunch of places have them, but I think Joma Shop has the whole collection. They've got like 15 of them, but this one looked really interesting to me. So this is Macaron, however you say that word. I always get confused with macaroon and macaron, but I think Macaron is the right way to pronounce it. You can correct me in the chat. I've got my Spyderco Para 3 today. Wonderful everyday, probably my favorite everyday carry knife. So anyway, this is Arabiyat Prestige Caramel Chocolate Macaron. So let's see how this thing smells. My only hope is that it's not too feminine. Gourmands like this can either be my favorite fragrances in the world or they can end up a little too feminine. But I have a feeling I'm going to like this one based on the notes. And I need to grab my other phone to look up the notes for you. The bottles on these things are outrageous. The whole line has ridiculous bottles. Not a complaint. I think they look cool, but they're just kind of hilarious. So this one's got a stack of some caramel chocolate macarons. I'm going to grab this phone so I can look up some notes over here. But yeah, I'm going to put it on paper first just to be sure. And if I like it, it's going on skin. I'm wearing Celerio Epic, but I sprayed that this morning, so this will be my evening scent if it's tolerable. All right, that phone's going to have to wake up. So let's check out together this ridiculous bottle here. When the phone wakes up, I'll show you the marketing for these fragrances is ridiculous. It looks like Alice in Wonderland showing up to the table with the Mad Hatter when they have like all the stuff piled up, except it's all like, you know, dessert foods. So, all right, let's check it out. Chocolate, caramel, obviously are the main notes. And oh man, that smells good. Caramel. This is like, before I ever even put my nose to it, it's like one of the most like true caramel fragrances that I have probably. It's reminding me a little bit of this one, a little bit. This is Dubai chocolate from Aroma, but this one's definitely more chocolatey. Yeah, this one is more chocolatey for sure. This one is caramely, but it almost is a little bit aromatic. My phone will wake up. I'll pull up the notes. That's going to take a second, but yeah, vanilla, caramel, a little bit of chocolate, but something a little aromatic in here as well, which I appreciate because if it was just straight caramel and chocolate, then that wouldn't be wearable. But I'm gonna put it on skin. I can't smell my morning fragrance anymore, so let's see how this thing goes. Yeah, like very, very vanilla caramely, you know, obvious, but I could definitely, I could definitely like picture a macaron tasting the way that this smells. Let's see. Frank says, caramel, really? Were you trying to attract a bear? They also like the smell of cherry. Yeah. Underbuilder says, have you ever made a fragrance? I have. I have made several, but never anything for sale. I actually have these little kits that I meant to do a video on them last Christmas. I filmed all of the videos and I never like put it together and actually like I never edited them into something I put on the channel. But there's this company creating perfume that makes these little kits where you can actually like, you know, it's got perfumer's alcohol and a bunch of like pure essential oils. And they had like a BR 540 kit and maybe like an Aventus kit. And they were really cool. So I've done these, and you can experiment with different things and come up with different combinations and stuff. I actually did it with my kids. They loved it. But I have a ton of essential oils as well. If I move my, yeah, there's no point in showing you, but you know what essential oils are, those little glass vials. But I have like some really high quality, like perfumer grade quality of those. And before I started building my collection like crazy, so probably like 10 years ago, I would often like, you know, pick 5 or 6 essential oils and make my fragrance for the day. So probably more of an answer than you wanted, but yeah, that's what I've done. All right, we've got somebody, I can't see the name. It says, have you tried Risala from Arabian Oud? I have not tried that. You'll have to let me know if it's good. What's it got in it? All right, let's see. Frank says there's no fragrance of on any of your shelves that will make a woman drop her pants. That is true. Yeah, you know, it takes like love and personality and um, a little more than a fragrance to marry a woman. So that is true. Let's see, what do we got? There's idiots in the chat. You'll just have to ignore them saying all kinds of disgusting things. But Underbuilder says, what's your favorite bottle? Mine's Spice Bomb. Yeah, that's interesting. I was just talking about how much I love the Spice Bomb fragrances. All right, let's hit, let me see if my phone's awake. So I don't know why it's taking so long. While we're waiting on that to wake up so that I can look at notes, let's talk about a couple other fragrances. So far I'm really liking this, but I can tell you that some guys would not wear this. Now that it's on my skin more though, it's funny. There is a real clean element of this fragrance that's coming out. So those sweet notes are very powerful at the beginning, but it settles down a lot into something a little more like a fragrance and not just like a dessert. So I'm interested to see what the notes are. This thing just woke up. I wonder if it has Lily of the Valley in it. Often gourmand fragrances will have like Lily of the Valley or lavender or both or ylang ylang. They'll have like some floral aromatic notes that tone down that edible sweetness so that it becomes a pleasant fragrance and not, you know, you just smell like you like whatever, smeared vanilla frosting on you or something. So let's see what this one actually has in it. Macaron. Oh, they might not be on Fragrantica yet. That's a bummer. Let me see here. Macaron. Maybe if I go... yeah, let me know in the chat if you've tried any of these. They're pretty new. The whole like series of these. Yeah, here we go. Caramel chocolate macaron. So here's the actual notes. I hope it gives the real note instead of just, you know, 3 notes like a lot of new fragrances are. All right, so it's got coumarin, so that's tonka bean. I think it's an extract of tonka bean. It's got caramel, honey, floral notes, and musk. So the floral notes and the musk, that's what I was saying earlier. Like a lot of the time, you know, something like Lily of the Valley, you know, musk, definitely. These are softer notes that are pretty neutral that can really chill out an overly sweet gourmand fragrance. So that makes a lot of sense. I still think there's probably a touch of lavender or, sage or some aromatic note in there as well that they don't list, because it does. There's a not only a clean vibe, a little bit of a kind of fresh, clean vibe in there. So I'm definitely digging this. I'm going to go ahead and make it my evening scent. Oh, pressurized atomizer too. Check that out. Wow, that is serious. That is a serious atomizer. So, wow, that is, I just oversprayed insanely. I think that was about, I don't know how long it lasts. I think that was about 6 or 7 sprays, but that was an incredible atomizer. I'm very impressed. So, all right, what else we got? So, we'll go with this one next. I released a video a couple days ago about this one. I didn't know that this had been, apparently it's been out for a couple months. I just saw it a couple weeks ago and bought it. And then once I got it and put my video out, I realized like, oh, a lot of people have already done a video on it. So this is Rayhan Aquatica, and it is a very, very good alternative to Virgin Island water. And it's a long-lasting alternative to Virgin Island water. And sometimes a fragrance will perform well on you. That does not mean at all that it's going to perform well on everybody. I mean, I learned that within a couple months of starting my channel. Some of my best performing fragrances I would mention in a video, and people would be like, "This guy's a liar, a scammer," whatever. And I'm thinking like, my YouTube channel didn't make a penny for a year. And then for the next year, every penny it made went right back into the channel. And now almost every penny it makes goes into the channel. My point is, if I'm ever saying something performs well, it's because it performs well on me, not because I'm a scammer. So my point is, on me, it performs well. But then I looked at some other people's videos, and I don't think I've seen anybody say that it doesn't perform well. Because, this is lime, bergamot, coconut, sugar, and I think it's white rum, a boozy note. So Virgin Island water is one of the most pleasant, attractive, mass-pleasing niche fragrances, that you can wear. And it's fresh, and it's definitely unisex. But I think on a guy, like, there's nothing about this that would be too feminine. It is definitely more warm weather oriented. So maybe it's not the best thing for December, but very, very good. It is the only that I know of, and correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but it's the only readily available, inexpensive Virgin Island water dupe. I've got a bunch of other Virgin Island water dupes, but they're from, more like indie clone brands, Fragbar, generic perfumes, or, whatever. Some of these others, Chez Pierre, brands that are much smaller, harder to get, more expensive. This thing will probably come down to like the $30 range in the next few months. And this is like, I would say, like a must buy. I mean, it is just fantastic. So let me know if you've tried it, but it's probably easily 7 or 8 hours. I mean, honestly, maybe more like 9, 10 hours, which sounds ridiculous, but I'm telling you, that's the feedback that is getting online, that it performs very well. And I concur. It performs very well. All right, what are you guys saying? We've got Firuz saying, what do you think about Al Haramain Ombre Oud Aqua Dubai? I don't have that one. I remember whenever it came out, and I couldn't tell by looking at the notes what it was a dupe of. I think it ended up being like a Louis Vuitton dupe. You'll have to let me know because I don't own it, and it's been a long time, probably a year since I looked it up. But I remember when it came out. I have a few of those amber oud fragrances. They're awesome, but I never picked it up. So let me know what you think of it. All right. Maxter says, I have both the chocolate and toffee ganache and the mango affogato. All three are great. Yeah. So let me see if I can find a picture of these fragrances. They are wild. I'll just hold it up to the phone and you'll be able to see it. But it is really wild what these things look like. So let's see right here. How big can I make that? Oh, I think my phone just died. Anyway, if you look up the Arabiyat Prestige Sugar collection. You'll see them. No, my phone didn't die. What happened? I guess the picture that I was trying to load up crashed my phone. I just wanted to show it to you because it's actually, uh, I think it looks pretty cool. It reminded me of Alice in Wonderland, you know, whenever she comes up to the big table. All right, I'm going to pull it up here. Arabiyat Prestige Sugar Collection. Because my picture that I had crashed. All right. Anyway, I'm going to keep, while this is loading, I'm going to keep reading your chat. You know how whenever your phone wakes up, it is an old phone too, one that I use for this kind of thing, and it takes about 3 minutes for it to get awake. It needs its coffee before it can fully function here. All right, what else you guys got? Martin says, great to catch you live. I've watched your videos for what seems like forever. Awesome, man. Thank you for sharing your passion. Thank you so much. I mean, big reason why I do it is because of you guys, the encouragement, the feedback I get. And I love being a part of the community of fragrance lovers. It's a weird hobby, but, you know, here's just one of the pictures. There's a bunch of them, but just to give you an idea of like the marketing, definitely not something that a 44-year-old man is necessarily going to run out and buy. But I like gourmand fragrances. Me up and said, do you want? And I said, yeah. So very cool. Look at the ice cream cone one. I mean, I don't know how well you can see that, but it literally looks like a McDonald's ice cream cone. So it would be a great gift idea, honestly, especially even though I'm a guy. I mean, especially if you have a teenage daughter, I mean, it'd be a great gift idea. So, all right. So these are both like super mass pleasing, you know, sweet and geared towards a younger audience. The next one I have is definitely mature, definitely not mass pleasing, and definitely not affordable like all of these are. It's a niche fragrance. It's from the company Maksim Perfumes. And so they do like really high-end niche. I don't know if you're still seeing me okay. Anyway, so yeah, this one, Maksim Perfumes, this is called Cologne de Gare. Cologne of oud, basically, is what it is. There's quite a glare on that. But the write-up was basically like, this is supposed to be a very elegant, everyday oud. So definitely interested in that. The write-up reminded me, sorry, the glare's so bad you probably can't read it very well. Reminded me of, I was thinking it would probably be something like oud wood. So some of my favorite fragrances on the planet, I pretty much hated them when I first smelled them. Somebody asked me about my favorites earlier. I talked about this one. I did not know if I was going to like this one whenever I got it because of the very realistic leather note. That was a few years ago, and of course it's now my favorite. I literally have a backup bottle of it, and I got this one is the fresher version, super fresh, I think it's called. Very similar, it's just got a little more citrus. So I love the DNA, but whenever I got it, I kind of hated it. The same is true of Blue Sapphire, but Victoria's Blue Sapphire. I don't have the original. It's like $500, $400, but I do have the generic perfumes dupe. And initially I was like, oh my gosh, this is awful. And then I wore it a couple times and it has literally become one of my favorite fragrances in the world. And I could go on. You know, a lot of the time oud fragrances, whenever you first wear them, there's some, I didn't like oud wood whenever I first tried it. I thought like, I could not wear this. I don't like it. Then I wore it 3 or 4 times. And again, I wouldn't say it's in my top 10, but definitely in like, I don't know, top 25 probably. I think it smells amazing. So this one, similarly, when I first sprayed it on, I was like, dude, I do not think I'm going to be able to wear this. But I know myself well enough to know that a lot of the time, whenever something is very complex and very deep and very interesting like that, that if I give it a chance and I give it a try, then eventually I may come to like it. Another one, Ganymede. Whenever I first tried Ganymede, I was like, definitely not going to wear this. Megamare, and I don't even have Megamare, but Latatha Atlas, a Megamare dupe. First sprayed it on and thought it too strong, too weird. What do all these things have in common? Initially, I didn't like them, and now I do. Some of them I like, literally love them. So first time I sprayed it on, I just thought, man, I don't think I'm going to be able to wear this. Went back to it the next day, just sprayed it on my hand and thought, I kind of like it. There's something about it I kind of like. I wore it for a couple days, and I could see this becoming one of my favorite, definitely one of my favorite oud fragrances, but maybe one of my favorite fragrances. It is a very deep, very complex oud and fresh, spicy, and I think there's some citrus in there, and it smells like it has leather in it, but I don't think leather is a note, but it definitely smells like a leather fragrance. There's another note that I'm missing that I'm going to look up here. Um, it's got a smoke. So like very, very high quality oud. Again, it's a $200 fragrance. So high end oud, a little bit of smoke, a little bit of citrus. And it also, I think it has rose in it. And there is a combo of citrus rose with oud. A lot of the time, like rose oud saffron is very popular. That's kind of an aromatic rose oud as well. But there is a particular citrus oud combo. It's in citrus rose combo. It's in Tabac Rose. It's in Prolix by Histoire des Parfums. It's in Blue Sapphire by Boadicea the Victorious. That combo, it always hits me weird when I first wear it, and then it becomes like one of my favorite elements of a fragrance. I'm going to look up the notes of this one because I'm pretty sure it has that same thing, but I could be misremembering it, so I'm pulling it up right now. Yeah, so it's got in the top, it's got Sichuan pepper and bergamot. So there's your citrus and there's your spice. Then it's got rose and saffron and frankincense. And even though it doesn't list smoke as a note, a lot of the time frankincense, which is one of the kind of core elements of incense, a lot of the time frankincense can come across smoky. Sometimes it just comes across very resinous, but sometimes it comes across smoky. That's what it does in this one. And then in the base, you've got oud, sandalwood, vanilla, benzoin, which is also a vanillic note, labdanum, which is a leathery note, and then cedar. So what I get out of this fragrance, the reason I'm going on and on about it is this is absolutely not for everybody. If you're new to fragrances, you definitely wouldn't like this. But if you like, some like deep leather fragrances, or if you like interesting oud fragrances, it's not at all fecal, animalic, nothing weird like that, but it's like rose, citrus, oud, smoke, and leather. And even though it's got benzoin and vanilla, it's got it's not a sweet fragrance, but it has a little bit of sweetness, sweetening up those notes. Very, very interesting. And it's supposed to be like an everyday oud, like, 3 seasons. I wouldn't wear it in the summer, but it's definitely not deep, dark. I could totally wear this in the spring, wear it warm days in the fall. So I'll talk more about this one as I give it some time, but I could definitely see myself coming to really, really like this. I'll tell you right now, my wife does not like it. I don't know that the only oud fragrance she's ever liked on me is Louis Vuitton Ombre Nomade. And I think it's because of the sweet, spicy element. And then I think she also liked Oud Maracuja. So she likes sweeter things on me, sweet, spicy. She did not like this one. So anyway, Maksim Cologne de Gar. I have a link to it. You can get samples. You can get a small bottle, I think, for like $50. So anyway, just wanted to mention it. it would be an interesting, if you're like getting yourself a nice fragrance for Christmas or something. If you're adventurous like I described, then it would definitely be worth checking out. I think it smells really good. But to be continued on that one. All right, let me hit some of your, there goes my phone. Let me hit some of your comments and maybe I'll hit another fragrance and then I'm going to have to get off here. All right, Erwin Curtis says, do you have a popcorn scent? I don't think so. That would be a weird note, but I do weird notes. So, all right, Yora says, a unique, affordable blue fragrance. I have got you covered in that department. So, to me, I'm going to give you a few that are dirt cheap and that are very, very good. That's probably a good start. All right. So these are all going to be clones, but if you just want straight up interesting, cheap blue fragrance, I would recommend this to any man, anywhere, period. Any situation. You can see how much I've worn of this. This is a $10 fragrance. That whole dent is from me. I don't know that my sons have ever worn this one. I have worn the crap out of this. It's an Acqua di Gio Profondo dupe, and it is it's a sweet aromatic blue fragrance. It's something like in the family of like YSL EDP, or even like here's another one that's an inexpensive, interesting blue fragrance. Rochus L'Homme. This is really, really good. This is another Acqua di Gio Profondo dupe. This is Liam Blue by Lattafa. Probably less than $30, but it's very good. But this one for $10. So this is Geo Blue by Belcam Parfums. Belcam makes some ridiculously good fragrances that are dirt cheap. I've probably got a dozen or more of them. So Geo Blue, like Acqua di Gio, is how some people say it, but this is super good. This one is good as well, and for a long time you couldn't find it, but I actually have seen it quite a bit the past year. So this is Fragrance World Pride Red Moon Marine, and it is a Prada Luna Rossa Ocean dupe. It's a dupe of the EDT, one that has the iris note in it. So this is really cool. The iris is pretty faint, but it's a blue fragrance with iris, which I think is really cool. And it's a similar profile to these. It's a little bit aromatic. It's actually closer to Dylan Blue. It's like if you could have Dylan Blue with just a touch of iris, that's kind of what this one is. Pride Red Moon Marine by Fragrance World. And then the last one, another one. Look how much I've worn of this fragrance. This is another from Belcam. This smells 95% similar to YSL EDP, which is one of my favorite fragrances in the world. I'm almost out of my bottle, but anyway, very, very, very good dupe of YSL. This is called Classic Match. Belcam Classic Match. It might be called Classic Match Y, but that's not on the bottle. But this stuff is incredible. And $10 or $12 is what you'll pay for it. I'll have to go afterwards and add links to these, but you can get them on Amazon for very inexpensive. So great question. So, all right, Durka, I think is how you say it. It says they had bitter peach at Sam's. Oh, wow. That's crazy. He said it blew my mind. Yeah, I've seen some good fragrances at Sam's. Let's see. Christoph says, I live in Greece. It's kind of hard to find those. You must be talking about dupes. Yeah, I have heard that in different nations, the selection of alternatives is very different. But in Greece, you probably have way better prices on many designer and niche fragrances than we do here in the US. A lot of fragrances are much cheaper in Europe or even in duty-free stores in the airport. I've gotten some great deals there. Something about, I don't know why, but the US, maybe it's tariffs or taxes. Our fragrances are stupid expensive now. It's getting ridiculous. All right, we've got Christoph saying, oh, he's talking about the pricing on them. Let's see. Durka says he doesn't like dossier fragrances. Okay, so I would agree with you, except I actually have some dossier that are ridiculously good. But I haven't tried a ton of dossier. But I'll tell you this right here. This is their alternative to Juliet Has a Gun Vanilla Vibes. I had Juliet Has a Gun Vanilla Vibes. I loved it, but it performed like garbage. This is Juliet Has a Gun Vanilla Vibes with a touch of coconut, and it performs 10 times better. It's like, I'm not exaggerating, like a, I mean, 15-hour fragrance on my skin. It's one of my longest lasting fragrances. So this is called Aquatic Vanilla by Dossier. It's very, very, very good. And then I have a couple others that are just ridiculous. This is Dossier Golden Rum and Amber. And this is it's a boozy fragrance. It is literally one of the best smelling boozy fragrances that I have. It kind of reminds me of Dior Tobacco Lore with booziness. So anyway, really, really good stuff. But I have heard horrible things about a lot of their dupes. The only dupe I have from them is this one. The rest of the ones I have from them are originals, and their originals are actually very impressive. So let's see. Christoph is saying, do you know Mike Oak? I do not. Trelonius is saying, what is your favorite Baccarat Rouge 540 Parfum clone? Well, the Extrait, I would say probably Amber Oud Ruby, Al Haramain Amber Oud Ruby. And probably the original Al Haramain would be Al Haramain's Amber Oud Rouge. Those are very strong, like nuclear strong. Any BR540 clones are strong. So yeah, those are really good. I've got some others, but honestly, none of them, in my opinion, really match those. So those would be my recommendations. All right. My wife is trying to call me, and I think I've been on for almost 45 minutes. I'm going to have to wrap it up. So here's what I want to do though. I did tell you that I was going to add this video to the giveaway. So I'm giving away this $160 fragrance from Day 3 Fragrances. So this is Royal Reflection. To me, it is a feminine leaning fragrance. So I do want to mention that I couldn't wear this, but like this would be a great Christmas gift for a significant other, your mom, whatever. Or there could be guys watching this that would actually really like it. But it's passion fruit, rose, and musk. And so it's literally like a floral, fruity fragrance. I love Day 3 Fragrances. Some of my favorite pickups of the past year have been from them. This is not sponsored or anything like that. I've just got a bunch of fragrances I want to give away. So all you've got to do to enter into the drawing is you've got to be subscribed to the channel. You've got to like the video. You've got to comment. I can't ship internationally. It's too expensive. The tariffs are too expensive, whatever. And it's too complicated with, different nations and stuff. So unfortunately, US addresses only, but subscribe, like, and comment. And in about a week, probably a week from today, I will announce the winner in my community tab. I won't message you down below. I won't send you a private message. If someone does that, they are a scammer, even if it looks like me, even if they steal the logo of my channel, because that's what the scammers often do. I will post in the community tab. That's where I announce all of my giveaway winners. And so subscribe, like, comment, and then a week from today, I'll post the winner. And so come back and check it out. And I plan to give away 3 other fragrances as soon as possible. Hopefully in the month of December. It might bleed into January, but I've got 4 really good fragrances I want to give away in the next couple weeks. So, all right. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you have an amazing weekend. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next Friday. So thanks. Have a good one.